Today, we're going to try to figure out how the Porsche 996 went from hated to cool again. When the 996 generation of the Porsche 911 went into production, it was a huge success. Sure, it was a major departure from past 911s, but even with its water-cooled flat six and its newly designed headlights, most people at the time considered it a very cool car. Of course, there were 911 purists that said a 911 must only be cooled by God's good air, and its headlights should be round. Over time, these purists started to win over many with this opinion. For many 911 owners, it especially got bad when people confused their 911 with the less expensive Boxster. Add this to some real but overblown reliability issues, and the 996 had a PR issue. This led to the 996 becoming the least loved generation of the Porsche 911, and prices over time simply continued to depreciate. Detractors of the 996 started to call the early cars' headlights fried eggs. This was due to the design of the clear upper and the amber bottom that kind of made it look like a fried egg. This criticism made many owners of early 996s decide to install de-ambered headlights that were installed from the factory on later 996.1 models, largely because the headlight design was also used on the 986 generation Porsche Boxster. Porsche would redesign the headlights for the turbo and 996.2 models. Still, many refer to all 996s as having the fried egg headlight. However, in the recent years, the fried egg headlights have come to become more of a legend and an icon of the 996. Part of this is as people pointed out that Porsche used these same headlights on the 911 GT1 race car. Thanks to the change in public perception, the 996 headlights are no yoke anymore. Largely due to perceived reliability issues, the 996 generation of the Porsche 911 continued to depreciate, eventually bottoming out in the $10,000 to $15,000 range for the base model. Now, this did allow some people to buy a 911 that didn't have enough money to keep up on the preventative maintenance. It also allowed for those that are ready to pay for the maintenance but were looking for a bargain on the sports car market. Because of this, a lot of people who otherwise probably would never have driven a 911 were able to experience a 911 of their own. And as technology in newer cars has made them safer and faster, it's also added a lot of nanny features. But the 996 offers a package back when 911s didn't have so many nanny protections, and yet the suspension is such that you don't feel like you're on the ragged edge like some of the Widowmakers of the past. And hey, in general, I really like to buy cars after most of the depreciation has happened, so I don't spend quite as much and someone else takes the financial hit. Often in our culture, what's perceived as cool is whatever Hollywood tells us. Cars in the movies can quickly set our expectations of what a car should be. Fast and the Furious really helped take off the Toyota Supra. In fact, some of the perception of the Porsche Boxster is due to it being the car that Elle Woods used in the original Legally Blonde movie. For the Porsche 996, there have been a number of movies featuring the car. These include Gone in 60 Seconds and Mission Impossible 2. Of course, the movie Cars, where Sally is a 996.2, is perhaps the most memorable of all movies featuring a 996. It's also helped to shape a whole generation on what they think a Porsche looks like, and it looks like a 996. And hey, it is also Hollywood that let me know that a Porsche 996 that looks just like mine could take out a jet when your daughter's taken for the third time. The used car market in general has just simply gone crazy, thanks to supply chain issues that have reduced the number of new cars and inflation that is higher than has been seen in a very long time. Prices of every used car are just booming, even the most boring cars. This has affected the sports car market, although some have looked to buy sports cars because they have a bit of extra cash from changing jobs, or as a tangible asset as we are in uncertain times. The overall 996 market has seen a year-over-year increase of 53%. This is about twice as high as most other sports cars. This means the price increase is much more than the general market. Similar to what happened to the 964 generation Porsche 911, as prices rise, people start to realize that they may be more special than previously given credit for. Funny thing is, as prices rise, so does desirability, which in turn rises prices again. I'm not planning to sell mine, but as a 996 owner, I like the price going up a lot. Possibly the single biggest factor of the rise in coolness of the 996 generation of the Porsche 911 are YouTubers. There have been a lot of automotive YouTubers who have owned a Porsche 996. Sure, a Lamborghini is usually the car that says, hey, I made it big on YouTube, but a number of channels were built off of owning a Porsche 996. These YouTubers raised awareness to those who otherwise thought a Porsche 911 in general was simply out of reach. Couple this with helping people get over the overblown reliability issues, and a world of possibilities open to a lot of potential buyers. I'm even a microscopic part of helping the 996 get just a bit more cooler, although I'm not that cool myself. And if you would like to help me make it even cooler, make sure to subscribe to this channel. The 996 generation of the Porsche 911 is considered cool again, but then perhaps it always was cool and there are just some people who refuse to see it for a while. If you would like to see why the Porsche 996 is the best generation of the Porsche 911, then check out this video.